Manchester United are taking on Brighton on Saturday afternoon as the Premier League continues. Erik Ten Hag's side travels to the south coast to take on the team, which is riding a wave of momentum, having beaten Everton 3-0 away from home last time out. The league campaign continues this weekend at the Amex Stadium. After Manchester United won on the opening day against Fulham, confidence will be high of also enjoying a successful second outing. However, the challenge will be greater after how impressive Brighton looked against Everton. Ahead of the game, Erik Ten Hag has provided some injury updates, with Victor Lindelof joining the unavailable list. The manager also confirmed that Lenny Yoro, Tyrell Malaysia, Rasmus Højlund and Luke Shaw also all injured this weekend. Despite these absences, United still have a fairly strong group, and we expect a very strong 11 to be named against the current league leaders. One thing that is certain about Brighton is that they'll come out and play an attacking brand of football. United will find a lot of space on the counter, and how they take their chances will determine the result of this game. It's safe to say that this game is unlikely to be a boring 0-0 stalemate though. Here is our predicted lineup. Ten Hag has plenty of big calls to make ahead of the 12:30 p.m. kickoff against Brighton on Saturday. With almost two strong options in each position, he has the luxury of being selective. But after the Fulham game, there are some decisions which are already made for him. In polls, Andre Onana. One game, one clean sheet for Andre Onana. He will now bid to keep it that way on Saturday as he starts again without a doubt. Although maintaining another clean sheet against Brighton might be difficult, if he can help the Red Devils win, that's as good as a clean sheet. At right back, Mazraoui. For Mazraoui, it was a dream debut, barely putting a foot wrong. The Moroccan impressed fans and pundits, with Roy Keane, in particular, an instant fan. It was an impressive debut for Mazraoui against Fulham, and will likely continue at right back against Brighton. Harry Maguire might not be the pick everyone wants to see, with Martinez de Ligt, a player we all want to see in action. But after a team of the week worthy performance against Fulham, Maguire cannot be dropped. Alongside Maguire, Lisandro Martinez is another shoe-in, with the Argentine being hugely impressive against Fulham as he bullied Adama Traore in duels. At left back, Diego Dalot should continue. Despite not being a natural, he plays like one, and his versatility has been a godsend for Ten Hag. He will have to deal with the threat of Yankuba Minte though. Alternatively, Ten Hag could start De Ligt and Maguire as centre backs and put Lisandro Martinez as the left back, but he is likely to persist with Dalot. Casemiro and Mainoo were arguably United's two best players against Fulham, and the duo should continue at the base of midfield with no real options to replace them from the bench as of yet. For Casemiro, the opening weeks of this season have been very encouraging, as he appears to have rolled back the years, and therefore we can quite happily predict him to start. The Brazilian superstar will want to ensure he continues his good form against the Seagulls, especially knowing in the back of his mind that a certain 23-year-old Uruguayan is on his way to Old Trafford. Next to Casemiro, who else but Mainoo? The academy graduate has had a solid start to the season, but hopefully he can now kick on and begin showing he is world-class like we know he can. Should Ten Hag revert to a more familiar 4-2-3-1 setup, then on the right wing, Alejandro Garnacho should start. After assisting against Fulham, that is 2 goal contributions in 2 games for Garnacho, and we imagine Ten Hag will start him ahead of Amad Diallo despite his horror miss. It is harsh dropping Mason Mount, but unfortunately United need a striker, and therefore it should be Bruno Fernandes in attacking midfield. But if he has another bad day, calls for Mount to start could begin. On the left wing, Marcus Rashford has not been bad, but he has not been good either. Improvements are needed, but he should start here to try and take advantage of Brighton's ridiculously high line. Up top, it's the match winner from last time out. Joshua Zirkzee became an instant hero with his goal against Fulham. That being said, his start is due to more than that, with the striker needed considering the poor finishing on show last week. He showed that he loves dropping deep and linking up play, and this could particularly be handy against a team like Brighton. Brighton showed in their first league game that they like to dominate possession, and with this being their first home game of the season, they will undoubtedly prefer to impose themselves. That could actually play into United's hands, as they still look best working on transitions, with Ten Hag's split striker formation giving great results versus Manchester City. It is a formation he used at the end of last season away to Brighton as well, when United emerged victorious in a venue that has traditionally been unforgiving for them. Should Ten Hag opt for that again, then expect United to play without a natural striker, despite Joshua Zirkzee's goal-scoring debut, just because the opponent and the situation demand it. It is fairly easy to assume that Brighton will start like a house on fire. Therefore, the one thing United cannot afford to do is get blown away by the early storm, be it through recycling possession or by standing firm in the face of the intense press. They cannot go down a goal or two within the first 15 to 20 minutes. There will be opportunities on transition, and the running threat of Marcus Rashford and Garnacho versus Joel Veltman in particular is a clear attacking plan. Casemiro will need to continue his defensive discipline. Mason Mount will run his socks off again, and Kobbie Mainoo will be the press-resistant progressor from the deep. Early weathering of the storm should lead to the game opening up for United, which they need to take advantage of by being clinical, something they haven't been this season so far. If the finishing clicks, this game is there for the taking, albeit in a nervy, closely fought contest. We predict Brighton 1, Manchester United 2. What's your own prediction? Share them in the comments section below. Let's meet right here after the game.